Today's an exciting day. Taking the truck to Crave Automotive for its second visit, getting a Prinsu roof rack put on, and 5.29 gears put in my 2017 Toyota Tacoma TRD Sport 6-speed manual. The main reason I'm doing this video is when I was researching the 5.29 gears, I did not see a lot of information about the 6-speed manuals. There's a Nitro video out there. One of the guys from Nitro mentions that he would recommend 4.88 gears for a 6-speed manual transmission. But talking to the guys at Crave, and based on the modifications I've already done on my truck, I've decided to go with the 5.29 gears. So I wanted to do a comparison video for anybody that's considering getting a gear change done on their 6-speed manual Tacoma, just to show the difference, kind of a before and after, between the RPM differences at highway driving speeds and my initial impressions. So Crave is going to be doing the install, and they're also going to be doing the break-in period for me, which is incredible. So when I'm driving home, I'll be on Highway 2, and I'll take a video on my way up here, and then a video on the way back to see what the major differences are cruising at highway speeds with these gears. A big concern with the regear is obviously higher RPMs at highway speeds. I want to just kind of give everybody my experience and show them what the differences are before and after. So right now, I'm going to bring the truck up to 120 kilometers an hour. I am running bigger tires. In a later part of this video, I'll go over the modifications that have been done to my truck already. But I'm running 295 75 16s, so just shy of a 34-inch tire. So my speedometer is obviously going to be a little bit slow, but I'll post below what the adjusted speed is that I'm going. But just for comparative purposes, I'm going to set my speedometer to 120 kilometers an hour. So as you guys can see, I'm in 6th gear. This is with the stock gearing, and at 120 we're sitting right at 2,500 RPM.
I think now is an important point in the video to say that I am not a mechanically inclined guy at all. So that's why I had Crave Automotive in Calgary, Alberta do the install. So if you have any DIY questions, I'm probably not the guy to ask. But the process of doing the regear with Crave was awesome. It took about 2.5 days, and they did all of the heat up and cool down cycles required to break the gears in initially. So by the time I got the truck back, it was ready to just drive home. It's worth mentioning as well that the break-in period wasn't totally done. Still had to take it easy for about 1,000 kilometers, and at the end of that 1,000 kilometers, get the differential fluid changed one more time. So with that out of the way, I'll go back to the video and show you what the RPMs were like on the way home.
We are in 6th gear, cruise control, 120. And as you can see, we're running at just a hair over 3,000 RPM. It's relatively flat here. Just about to go downhill a little bit. So the change out in the gears has resulted in 500 RPM increase at highway speed. As far as the noise associated with that, I certainly don't notice a big difference. Yeah, overall super happy with it.
Well, after the initial break-in period, my first impression is these gears are awesome. I don't think 5.29s are overgeared for a manual Tacoma with 33 to 34-inch tires at all. A common concern with putting 5.29s in a manual transmission that I've read online is that it's going to make first and second gears totally useless, and it's going to be unbearably loud at highway speeds, and frankly, I just haven't found that to be the case. Sure, I guess it's got a lot more get up and go in the lower gears than I'm used to, but driving around town, that just makes the truck so much more fun to drive. I find that I'm using all the gears similar to when the truck was stock. And on the highway, I haven't found that it's been too loud at all. I mean, the difference between 2,500 RPM and 3,000 RPM isn't really so much about how much louder the truck is, it's really just kind of a difference in the engine pitch. So I haven't found that to be a concern at all. Ultimately, although it was expensive, I have no regrets about upgrading to Nitro 5.29 gears. It's made the truck so much more fun to drive around town, it's still tolerable on the highway, and I can't wait to get it off-road. So time for the walk around. I've taken my mall crawler to West Edmonton Mall to do this honorary video, and I'll talk about some of the mods I've done so far, starting with the tires and wheels. I've got a set of black ProComp 16x8 rims with a -12 offset, and on there I've got a set of Toyo AT3 34-inch tires. I had these tires installed at Crave, and they had to do a level 3 cab mount chop and a little bit of trimming to get the tires to fit without any rubbing. If you want more details about that, just let me know in the comments. As far as the sliders are concerned, these are Greenlane aluminum hybrid sliders made in Canada. They're about 60 pounds a side, and so they offer protection without adding a ton of weight to the truck. Moving to the rear, installed on the truck when I bought it was a Fab Fours premium rear steel bumper. For exhaust, I had Park Performance in Sherwood Park replace the stock exhaust with a Magnaflow catback exhaust with a black exhaust tip. For rear shocks, I've got Canadian-made Elka 2.0 shocks with a Icon 3 add-a-leaf for about 2 inches of lift in the back. Moving to the front of the truck, I've got a matching set of Elka 2.0 adjustable shocks, set to about 3 inches of lift in the front, paired with a needle bearing replacement from East Coast Supply, as well as a Specialty Products upper control arm. Under the hood, I've got a K&N cold air intake, an Aircharger cold air intake, and I've also installed the 91 octane OVtune. Underneath the truck, there's a matching Greenlane aluminum skid plate, which is fantastic because steel skid plates tend to rust immediately in our Canadian climate. So it does what a skid plate needs to do, and it's nice and lightweight. On the roof, I've got a Prince roof rack, which was just installed. Haven't had a ton of time to play with it, but I think it looks pretty cool. So guys, that's my truck. Thanks so much for watching the video, and I hope this has helped, the 10% of Tacoma owners out there with manual transmissions decide on how they want to re-gear their truck. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments. Otherwise, cheers.